Next one's a really great classic one that's rising in value too, and a little bit under the radar, but you almost can't go wrong with this one. Punisher Limited Series #1. And the reason I say this is a bit under the radar, because I think Wolverine Limited Series kind of is the main sort of limited series Marvel book that everyone kind of thinks about. But to be honest, Punisher Limited Series #1 in a 9.8 is a hands down a better 9.8 collector item. It's tougher in the 9.8. There's way less of them in the 9.8. But at the same time, like, if you ever talk to any big Punisher fans, like, this is pretty much the key issue in the 1980s to get if you're a Punisher fan, and definitely maybe, second or third in line to an Amazing Spider-Man 129 first appearance of Punisher. But yeah, absolutely, Punisher Limited Series is just a great investment grade 9.8 from the 1980s to consider. 393 9.8s in a blue label, 15.1%. The 9.8 ratio, solid 9.8 ratio. Those numbers are looking way better than a Wolverine Limited Series on the census. So yeah, this one, it's a great one. Absolutely. You can kind of get it pretty close to a Wolverine Limited Series in price, but because there's only 393 of them, I think there's a bit more of a wider price range on this one, where Wolverine Limited Series, there's like 2,000 and something of them in the 9.8, just to show that difference. 393 of the Punisher, 2,000 and something of the Wolverine one. This one just really tough in the 9.8, whereas that Wolverine Limited Series #1, I've said in the past, I hadn't really liked it because it's not the toughest 9.8 for how old of a book it is. But Punisher Limited Series #1 in a 9.8, $845.75. Saw one sell. That's going to be like the lower end of the range. And occasionally, big Punisher fans are kind of paying about $1,100 for this one. If you go back and look about a month or two, some completed sales around $1,100. If you can do $845.75, right around that price, in kind of an auction in a direct edition, that is a phenomenal deal, I think. That would be one, if I kind of saw this pop up on an auction in Canada and I could get it around, $850, I would even consider going after this one. Yeah, great collector item. Punisher Limited Series #1. And that it's absolutely been rising in value over time. This is one, when Wolverine Limited Series was $275. That's what I bought mine at. This one was like $300, maybe a little over $300. So, $300 to about $1,000 now. Absolutely rising in value. If you're liking my content, please subscribe and hit that bell, and I'll keep you updated on future videos.